Welcome back, everybody. We're talking right now with attorney Lynn Saben, making her first run for City Council. Welcome to the program, Lynn.
Thank you, Frank. I'm happy to be here.
Tell us, what are the compelling factors that cause you to want to make a run for City Council this time around?
Well, I think the most compelling factor is I believe Haverhill needs to be led into a new direction. Right now, the current City Council, as it sits, appears to not be doing a heck of a lot. And I believe I have the qualifications to change things up a little bit and just to bring Haverhill back together again so that we can progress into the future.
You say new direction. What new direction would that be?
I think a new direction that I'm thinking of is working more closely with the community. You know, we have Team Haverhill and other nonprofit groups out there, and I think more working together, hand in hand, helping them out, them helping us out, so that we can come back together more as a community and not, so there isn't as much of a dichotomy.
Do you think that, are there restrictions that you see, or are not so much roadblocks, but certain restrictions or inhibiting factors to keep the city from going in the direction that it should be going?
I think what's happened in Haverhill right now is it appears as though we've succumbed to the status quo. There's not a lot going on. There's a lot of lip service going on, but lip service doesn't get things done. And right now, it just doesn't seem like things are getting done in Haverhill.
Do you think are you suggesting a degree of complacency so that some people might figure if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but maybe some things could be improved?
I think a lot of things can be improved, and I think right now people have kind of sat back and taken more or less an apathetic attitude. For instance, I mean, we have this huge problem going on with the Hunking School right now, and I mean, way back in 1999 that had come to light, and nothing ever got done. And I'm the kind of person that when I hear about things that are going on, I want to get out there and I want to do something.
So besides the Hunking School, what are the other initiatives that you think the city should move forward on?
I think other initiatives is I've talked to a lot of the senior citizens out there, and there are very little simple fixes, just like putting in more lighting in a certain residential area and things like that. Things that are so easy to fix and that aren't going to cost a lot of money. So that's one thing that's on my agenda, is working with the senior citizens, enhancing safety, things that are happening in their neighborhoods for them. I'm also committed to excellence in education, both inside and outside the classroom. I think outside the classroom is just as important, if not more important, especially given our current economy right now. Mom and dad have to work, and they're not always home when the kids get home. And I'd like to see more programming in the schools and just everybody helping out, because our kids, they're our future, and we need to take care of them because they're the ones that are going to take Haverhill where it needs to be in the future.
Do you think, when you take a look back at what the City Council has voted for, or the initiatives that have been before it in the past couple of years, do you see any particular votes that you would have gone in a different direction on?
Well, I will say back in November, I was disappointed when Savannah Marion, when he approached City Council with the business tax and things like that to get the business tax lowered. And you know, Haverhill as a community, we need to work with these businesses. I think that's important, and I think it was pretty sad.
You're talking about the tax classification issue?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's pretty sad when people are supporting helping out businesses in Haverhill, but then unfortunately they're not there when the big meeting takes place. And I can assure the Haverhill voters out there, I'm going to be there for every City Council meeting, and I want to work hand in hand. I'm more of a macro kind of person, and I am a business owner. I'm a Haverhill resident. I've grown up in Haverhill, and I think as a City Councilor, I have the ability to work with the residents, work with the businesses, work with the schools, and just bring everything together rather than just paying one minute detail to something like technology or something like that. I think it needs to be more of a combined effort. We can't just single out particular things.
If you take a look, if we get to the tax classification issue ever so briefly, and that is, what would your take be on that, given what the rate happens to be for businesses versus a rate for residential? Would you be in favor of keeping it the same or modifying that somehow?
Right now, I would be in favor of actually modifying it for
so?
some of the businesses. I would like to see the tax decreased for some of the businesses. I've talked to businesses located in Bradford, and I mean, they've endured a huge hardship with all the road work that's gone down there, and I mean, these businesses are basically going out of business.
What do you see ahead for the city of Haverhill? Let's say your vision, being a longtime Haverhill resident, you have your business in the city of Haverhill. What direction do you see the city going in, or that you'd like to see the city going in?
I would like to see the city going in a direction geared to the average person that lives in Haverhill. The average person living in Haverhill right now, they can't afford to go downtown and pay $8 for a drink. They can't afford to go to some of these restaurants where it costs $25 to have dinner. I'd like the city council to work together, the business community to work together, and the nonprofits to work together to make Haverhill a place to understand who Haverhill is, what we are. We're a diverse community, hardworking citizens. Most of us don't make a heck of a lot of money. And I want to see, to get Haverhill going, we need things to get us out there, things that we can afford, and just to be together and make Haverhill a much stronger community.
Are there any specific things that you've been hearing during the course of your campaign and going from house to house or talking to voters at different meetings? I mean, what are some of the things that they're bringing up to you that they have specific concerns about?
I would say the biggest concern that I've heard is about the Hunking School and about the mayor extending the debt exclusion. I've also heard people have raised the issue about the stadium. The stadium still isn't completed, and I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but there's no better feeling of pride being at a Hillies football game and really enjoying yourself and you know, rooting our high school kids on.
That's great. Attorney Lynn Saben, that'll have to be the last word, but we hope that you do well in the election. We wish you the best of luck, and you bring a lot of energy and new ideas to this type of program. We thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.